start by coming to a seated position on your mat. So we always find our foundation in every position that we're in. So in our seated position, that is through our sitting bones. So literally take your hands and shift your glutes back so that your sitting bones can root down into the earth. Begin to slow your breathing down. You can close your eyes and just feel yourself pull into your center. Imagine that you can literally draw all the energy that you exert that's outside of yourself in all the way to the center of your spine. And just feel for a moment what it feels like just to be you. Put your hands on your knees and inhale. Swing your shoulders forward and up. Squeeze them up by your ears. Pause at the top of your breath and exhale. Bring your shoulders back and down. Pause at the bottom. Really drag your shoulders down and inhale them forward and up. Squeeze at the top. Pause and exhale back and down. Pause at the bottom. Really drag your shoulders down. Feel the stretch. Inhale. Continue moving your shoulders like this, following your breath. Pausing at the top of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. And just warming up the shoulders here. Waking up our neck. And then come into stillness. Relax your shoulders, relax your breathing. Today's class is going to be themed around the second yama. So the yamas and the niyamas are the first two branches of yoga. The yamas outline personal ethics relating to how we relate to the world, and the niyamas are how we relate to ourselves. So today I wanted to talk and theme this class about Satya. And Satya means non-falsehood or truthfulness. And it goes beyond speaking the truth. It is about living our truth. So throughout this class, take time to reflect on your truth. It may not have any words to describe it. It may be a feeling or a knowing. Tap into your truth today, beyond what your mind tells you is true. That quiet space is where your truth really exists. Press your palms together, and as you do, press your shoulder blades together onto your back. Bow into your heart center and thank yourself for coming here today. Beautiful. Roll over onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Your knees should be right underneath your hips. Your hands should be a little wider than your shoulders, so the inner lining of your hands, or your L's, should come to about the outer edge of your shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide, but your thumbs are in a soft J, so your thumbs are not hyperextended. Make sure your wrist creases are aligned with the front of your mat. So they're parallel, they're pointing directly forward. And just paw your hands into the mat for a moment, pawing your hands like a cat, feeling into the four corners of your palms, which is the foundation of your tabletop position. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your sitting bones, lift your gaze. This is your cow pose. And exhale, curve your spine towards the ceiling, tailbone comes in, gaze looks in. Cat pose. Inhale, back to cow. And exhale, back to cat. Continue pulsing with your breath, warming up the spine, and beginning to link your movement with your breath and slow your breathing down. Making your breathing more deliberate here. Can every breath be an act of truth? An act of honesty, liberating you from your tension. The next time you exhale, inhale to a neutral spine. And press up and back into downward facing dog, inverted V. Press into your hands so your shoulder blades come more together onto your back, allowing your heart to melt towards the earth. Pedal into your feet, stretching out one leg at a time, and then come into stillness with your feet. As you push into your hands, can you feel your heels weighing down towards the earth? Breathe here. Make sure you're weighted equally in both hands, not leaning more on one than another. So maybe you paw your hands for a moment to find your foundation again. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. And exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Drop your left knee. If you need here, you can roll up the side of your mat for additional knee support, or you can grab some extra cushion around you. I like extra knee support, you don't need to. And then just step your front foot a little bit more forward so you're in a more of an extended lunge. Plant your left hand to the inside of your right foot, and then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. See if you can bring your shoulder blades onto your back as you open your heart and breathe. Lunge more into your front foot so you can feel that stretch along your left psoas, and if you need to, you can scoot your front foot forward or your back leg back just a bit more so that you can feel that stretch along the front of your left hip flexor. If you're able to, look up towards your fingertips. This is your twisted crescent lunge. One more breath here. Reach and exhale. Plant your hands to frame your front foot and step back into a downward facing dog. Once again, you can pedal out your feet here and then come into stillness, allowing your heels to draw down towards the earth. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. And exhale, step your left foot between your hands, drop your right knee to the mat. You can extend the length of your lunge by stepping your front foot forward. Plant your right hand to the inner edge of your left foot and then reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back, which helps your heart open up more into this slight twist. You can look up towards your fingertips if you're able to and breathe. One more breath. Extend your arms as long as it can go, and then plant your hand to step around your front foot and back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward into a high plank. From here, you can drop your knees if you need to, tuck your elbows into your sides, and slowly lower down to the earth. Untuck your toes. Create a pillow for your head with your hands, and bend your knees at 90-degree angle. And then just windshield wiper your feet from side to side for a moment. Come into stillness. Bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders and plant your palms flat on the mat, fingers facing forward. Energetically and isometrically draw your shoulders back, and as you do, lift your heart. Shoulder blades come onto your back, and your gaze follows the line of sight of your heart. So if your heart isn't lifting very far off the ground, then your gaze is pointing in the same direction that your heart is. Do not judge how far you can lift into this pose. Honor exactly where you're at. Beautiful. Melt towards the earth. Bring your hands right beside your pecs and press up into a slight back bend. Melt down. Press up into a slight back bend. This is your cobra. Melt down. Inhale, press up into cobra. And exhale back down. This time, press up and see if you can lift your thighs off the ground. This is your upward facing dog. Tops of your feet heavy into the mat. And exhale, curl over your toes and back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Take 3 juicy breaths here. Beautiful. Look towards your hands. You can step or hop up to the front of your mat and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders come back, neck draws back. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands and step back into a high plank position. Draw your right knee into your belly. And exhale, draw your right leg back behind you, 3-legged dog. Inhale to high plank, knee comes to left elbow. And exhale back into 3-legged dog. Inhale, knee to right elbow. And drop your right knee to your right wrist. Your toes on your back foot are still curled under. We're going to come into pigeon here, so your right foot can stay tucked in by your left hip flexor. Or if you want to feel more of a stretch, you can draw your shin forward so it's more parallel with the front of your mat. Our hips are square with the front of the room. And if your leg is a little bit more forward rather than tucked in, flex your toes towards your knee. This is your Royal King Pigeon. Stay proud and high onto your hips. And breathe. Maybe find some softness in your face. Can you even allow a little smile to creep across your face? When we hold the pose in yoga, it's practice for life. Where do you need to hold the pose? One more breath here. Beautiful. Bring your elbows, if you can, to the earth, or grab some blocks so you can slowly begin to lower down. And if you're able to, which currently I am not, you can bring your head all the way to the mat for sleeping pigeon. You should be feeling a juicy stretch along the outer edge of your right glute, your right hip. Can you imagine sending your air into those tight places? inflating them with your gorgeous breath and exhaling any tension. One more breath here. Let's make this one count. Beautiful. Come onto your hands and step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet for a moment. Take 3 breaths in downward dog. Inhale to high plank, knee to belly. Exhale, extend your left leg back, 3-legged dog. Inhale, left knee to right elbow, high plank, and exhale, left leg back, 3-legged dog. Inhale, left knee to left elbow, and drop your left knee by your left wrist crease. You can bring your your right foot back. Toes are still curled under. You can leave your foot by your right hip flexor, or you can bring it out in front of you a little bit more, and if you do, flex your toes so that you can get more of a stretch in that outer glute. Breathe here. This is your royal pigeon. Feel the grace that it takes. See if you can slow your breathing down and soften your face. One more breath here. And then come down to your forearms. If you're able to, you can come to some blocks or stacked books. And if you're able to, you can melt your forehead all the way to the earth. This is your sleeping pigeon. Breathe into your outer left glute. Inflate that region with your air and feel it soften with your exhale. You're doing beautiful, guys. One last breath here. Press your hands into the mat and up and back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Come high onto the ball mounds of your feet and shift your weight forward into a high plank. Drop your knees if you need to. Tuck your elbows into your sides, lower down. Untuck your toes. Press into the tops of your feet. You can do cobra or upward facing dog. And then roll over your toes and back into downward facing dog. Drop your knees right underneath your heels here. Your hips. And extend your arms further out in front of you. Tense your fingers like you've got cupcakes under your hands and send your glutes towards your heels. As your forehead and your heart melt to the earth, can you lift the underlining of your arms a little bit more? This is your puppy dog pose. Breathe here. Feel the juicy stretch along the back. Take your left hand and weave it underneath your right arm. Let your left shoulder rest onto the earth, and then you can bring your right hand by your face and even push just slightly into your right hand, helping you go just a little bit more into this twist. One last breath. Press into your hand. Extend your arms out in front of you, back to puppy dog pose. Tense your hands and melt your heart. Lift the underlining of your arms, bringing your shoulder blades onto your back and allowing your heart to open up in the front. Take your right hand and weave it underneath your left arm. You can bring your left hand by your face and even push just slightly, allowing your strength to just gently guide you into a little bit more of a twist here. Breathe, always remembering to connect with your breath. Our breath energizes and softens us. Find yourself in these moments of silence. Where are you in this practice? Explore what that means. One more breath here. Press into your hand to come out of your twist. Extend your arms out in front of you, back into puppy dog pose so we can neutralize our spine. Lift the underlining of your arms, bringing your shoulder blades together and allowing your heart to melt. Beautiful. Just come up to sit onto your heels. Your toes are still tucked under. This is your thunderbolt posture. And it's a little uncomfortable. Make sure you're not putting all of your weight on your toes if they haven't been stretched or strengthened enough for that not to be painful. So moving into discomfort is always okay. We never want to move into pain. So we're stretching out the backs of our feet. We're strengthening our toes here. One more breath. And then sit back onto your glutes. Bring your left shin parallel to the front of your mat. Flex your left toes towards your left knee. And then bring your right knee out alongside your right hip. Bring your foot wider than your right knee. And then flex those toes as well. So this is your deer pose. And we're just gonna fold into this one. You can stay on your hands, you can move to your forearms, or if you're able to, you can bring your forehead all the way down towards the mat. Breathe into your outer left glute. Beautiful. Really connect with your breath and your body. Don't make anything wrong. Everything is just as it should be. If you can't feel this much, imagine energetically drawing your left glute back and notice how that activates even more of a stretch. Beautiful. One more breath here. Press into your hands. Come up to sit and bring both knees into your belly or your chest and just give yourself a hug. Take a moment to genuinely give yourself a hug, a loving hug. And then bring your right shin parallel to the front of your mat. Your left knee comes out alongside your left hip. Flex your right toes towards your right knee and then make sure your left foot is coming to the outside of your left knee. Flex those toes too. Inhale, grow long through the sides of your waist, and exhale, fold over your front leg. You can come to your forearms or some blocks, or if you're able to, bring your forehead all the way to the mat. And breathe. Take 2 more juicy breaths here. Energetically draw your right glute back. And take some juicy deep breaths. Make this last one count. Beautiful. And press into your hands. Bring both knees up to center. Give yourself another hug. You can never give yourself enough love. Bring your right foot towards your left glute. So your right knee is pointing directly in front of you. And bring your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale, grow long through the sides of your body. Imagine lifting the rest of your spine into alignment just through the crown of your head, as if a string is being pulled up through the crown of your head. What that does is it also lengthens your neck back a little bit, creating just an ever so slight tuck in your chin so that your neck is aligned with the rest of your spine. Bring your arms out alongside you. Inhale and exhale. Begin to twist your left hand behind you, right arm to the outer edge of your left thigh. Inhale, grow long, and exhale, twist. Inhale, grow long, and exhale. See if you can journey just a little bit more into your twist. Breathe here. Your left side represents your past. Everything that's taken you to get to this point. Can you look at your past, all of your past selves, all of the people you encountered, good or bad, and say thank you. Thank you for bringing me here, exactly where I need to be. Thank you for teaching me what I needed to know to get to the new places that I'll be going. Inhale to inflate your body and come out of your twist. And exhale, squeeze your left knee into your body. Beautiful. You can uncross your legs, extend your legs out in front of you for a moment, flex your toes towards your face, and just give your legs a little bit of a shake. Bring your left foot to tuck in by your right glute, your left knee pointing forward. Your right foot comes to the outer edge of your left thigh. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, soften. Inhale, grow long. Bring your arms out alongside you and exhale. Bring your right hand behind you. Your left arm comes to the outer edge of your left thigh. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, journey a little bit more into your twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. When you find the edge of your twist, when you meet yourself at your limits, breathe and lengthen. Your right side represents your future. Everything that is to come for you. Imagine now that you are looking at your future. The good times and the tough times. Can you say thank you? Thank you for what you'll bring me. Thank you for the person that you will turn me into. And for the experiences that help me grow and find joy. See if you can smile at your future and really feel it. Inhale to inflate your body and come out of your twist. Give your right knee a squeeze. And then you can release your legs out in front of you. Bring your glutes back behind you, always finding your foundation. Flex your toes towards your face. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, fold over your legs. Reach for whatever part of your shins or feet that you can grab. And just give yourself a slight pull. Breathe into the backs of your legs and your back. Beautiful. You can come up to a seated position. And bring the soles of your feet together. See if you can draw them in closer to your body. And make sure that your sitting bones, are rooted into the ground. Use your hands to pull your feet in, and as you do, use your elbows to push against your thighs and pull your torso just a little bit more in between your thighs. This is your Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose. See if you can soften and smile here. We're never shoving our thighs down, we're just gently pressing into them to guide them down. And any tension you feel, try not to clench. See if you can breathe softness into it. Our hips are often so tight because we spend so much of our time sitting all day. And also because it's the center where we carry our ability for intimacy. Sometimes it can be really hard to open up and connect. Sometimes opening up doesn't mean spilling all your secrets or letting everybody in on your private life. Can you contemplate what it means to open up to yourself? To become intimate with your truth? One more breath here. Really breathe that breath into your hips. And exhale. Take your hands to the outer edges of your thighs and close your legs like a book. We don't want to strain the muscles that we just stretched out. Extend your legs out in front of you and lie back onto your mat. Knees are bent, so your feet are kind of closer into your glutes. Bring your hands out alongside you in goalposts or like a cactus position. Look towards your left side and let your knees drop towards the right. If you want a little bit more of a stretch here, you can bring your right foot to the outer edge of your left thigh, helping guide it down. Just make sure that your left shoulder blade is not coming off of the mat in this twist. So really anchor down your left shoulder blade. Breathe. Inhale to come out of your twist. Feet back to neutral, and exhale, drop your feet to the left, look towards your right. If you need that extra stretch, put your left heel over your right knee. Just help guide it down towards the earth. And breathe. Always remembering to connect with your breath. Draws you into the present moment. Out of your head and into your body. This is your truth. This is your being. It doesn't exist in your mind. It exists in your being, not your doing, not your thinking, in your being. Soften with your breath. Allow maybe a little smile to creep across your face. Inhale to come out of your twist. And exhale, bring your feet, the soles of your feet together, knees falling to the sides of the room. Bring your hands underneath your head and your neck, and use your thumbs to give your neck just a little bit of a neck massage. This is your Supta Baddha Konasana, or your reclined butterfly pose. See if you can make your breath audible here, breathing in and out through your nose. Almost like a sigh. This is your Ujjayi breath, and it helps you really sip in that oxygen, allowing it to absorb into each one of your 3 trillion cells, oxygenating and energizing them. Extend your legs out in front of you. Let your feet fall to the sides of the room. Your legs or feet should be wider than hip width apart. Tuck your shoulder blades behind you just a little bit more, which allows your palms to flip open. Draw your neck towards the mat just a little bit more by creating just a slight tuck of your chin, lengthening your spine. Your neck is a beautiful extension of your spine. This is your corpse pose, or Shavasana. This is your opportunity to give yourself permission not to do anything. Can you release each and every muscle to the gravity of the earth that so lovingly holds you to this beautiful planet? Starting with your face, can you release your eyebrows and your forehead? Can you soften your scalp, your temples, your eyelids, your cheeks? Relax your ears, your nose, your lips. Relax your jaw and your throat. Continue to draw that relaxation down through your shoulders, your chest and back and arms. Relax your hands and each and every one of your 10 fingers. See if you can relax your rib cage and allow your body to breathe itself. Relax your belly and your hips. There's no need to do anything here. Relax your thighs, your knees, your shins. Relax your ankles and your heels, the middle of your feet, the balls of your feet. Finally, each and every one of your 10 toes. Allow yourself to be held and breathed, melting like a puddle into the earth. Give yourself permission just to be. If any thoughts come across your mind, smile at them. You do not need to identify with them. Your brain is doing what brains do, but that's not who you are. Begin to invite some movement back into your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet, wrists and ankles. Bring your feet together and bring your hands together up and overhead. Give yourself a stretch. Lengthen your body as long as it'll go. And then roll over onto your right side. Use your bicep as a pillow and just rest for a moment. When we lie on our right side, we give our heart a little bit of a needed break. Your heart that works so hard for you all the time. Can you give thanks to your heart for a moment? Honor it. And then press into your hands and come through a seated position. Find your foundation in your seat. Grow long. Press your palms together at heart center. As you do, press your shoulder blades together onto your back. Close your eyes and breathe. Sometimes your truth is in expressing yourself and communicating. And sometimes your truth lies in silence, the spaces in between. Give yourself more time in your day to just be who you are and connect with that truth. Bow into your hearts and thank yourself for coming today, for the work that you've done to connect with yourself. I thank you all for coming. The light and shadow in me bows to and acknowledges the light and shadow within each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I hope you find the time today to live your truth